They say life began at the bottom of the ocean. Many organisms evolved and came to Earth. In the water, not only have been seen what could be intelligent beings, but also strange events that have been caught on tape. Ready to join the finest squad? Then make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of our interesting videos ever again. With that being said, let's begin. Half human, half fish. In ancient times, it was believed mermaids were beautiful women with long hair and a lovely voice that had a large fishtail from the waist down. Remember Ariel from The Little Mermaid? Well, the creature captured in the next video doesn't look anything like her. This recording was uploaded to YouTube in January of 2018 and shows a creepy looking creature. Half human, half fish, but not as we thought it would be. Unlike Ariel, this thing doesn't have a beautiful face with braided long hair nor seashells on her body. Instead, it has a fish head full of scales with protruding eyes. It can be seen that it has 2 arms, and they don't have fins at the end, but fingers. Its torso also looks human, but ends in a giant fishtail. The creature is lying in a cargo box, so many have claimed it was in a port. Some believe it was in China, but in reality, it's unknown where this recording took place or who filmed it. The truth is, the video went viral because among all the evidence related to mermaids, this seems to be one of the most realistic ones. Unknown creature. Can you imagine what can be found under the sea? We're going to give you an idea here. It was December of 2008 when a man named Doug West, who was working in the Gulf of Mexico, uploaded this video to his Facebook profile. In it, we see an elongated creature, similar to a jellyfish or an octopus. It moved as if it were a very long piece of cloth, without tentacles or limbs. Its body seemed to swim, going with the flow. However, the most curious thing about this animal is not just its shape, but what happens afterwards. Its long bluish structure started changing its shade, first to purple and then to red. Once it became red, you can see how its tail came off, just as you hear it. No one knows why, but it regenerated in a matter of seconds and its shape changed entirely. 2 flat fins come out where there was nothing before. It even moved as if it were another creature. Many theories emerged after this video went up, but none of them seemed to solve people's doubts. Mermaid recording in Israel. The following sighting isn't impressive just for the video, but also for the testimonies. Everything happened in Kiryat Yam, Israel. The scene was recorded from a bridge. Here we see a humanoid creature with a fishtail that was resting on a rock on the tide. When it noticed it was being observed, it escaped. But having no legs but tail, it had to crawl along the rocky surface to the sea. The shot looked quite improvised. In fact, the boy seemed very scared. It seemed hard to believe a woman in a costume had pretended to be a mermaid. The current and the cold water were so strong no one would have dared to perform that action. Also, they weren't the only ones who saw it. It turns out the government of Israel had offered a reward of $1 million to anyone who could take a picture of the mysterious mermaid. The representative of the town hall, Nati Zilberman, explained many people claimed to have seen it. Many of them described it as half girl, half fish, since it jumped like a dolphin and did tricks before disappearing. What do you think? Should we worry or leave it alone? Underwater hunting. Do you think stories about another form of intelligent life are just tourist tales? Well, this is going to surprise you. The following video was captured by a group of scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Agency of the U.S. Department of Commerce. They examined an oil tank 526 meters underwater. And no, it wasn't an underwater excursion in a diving suit. Human beings haven't been able to dive beyond 332 meters by swimming. It's a video recorded with a specialized underwater camera. This explains why it took so much time to film what definitely wasn't a dolphin. As you can see, a fish was swimming through the tank when it was pierced by an arrow thrown from somewhere deep in the sea. How about that? The most surprising thing was the moment in which a creature took the animal. Everything happened so fast, the only thing you can see is its tail. Does a marine animal have the ability to use weapons to hunt? This video filled people with doubts. However, scientists still don't have an answer. The boat chasing. There is only one thing more chilling than sightings of strange creatures that run away from humans when they're discovered. Those cases where these creatures chase you. This is what happened to a group of young tourists in Puerto Rico. It all started when Debbie Morales and her friends went on a boat ride through the channels of the Isabella River. Amid the laughter, they could see something in the water that was swimming very fast behind them. As you can see, a creature with light tonalities was submerged underwater. Although it didn't let itself be seen completely, its intention was to follow the young people. If you ask the reason, well, nobody knows. However, its presence ruined a perfect day among friends, especially because the waters of these channels aren't suitable for swimming. Once the video went viral, some thought it was a paranormal being. Others talked about a man who is drowned in the river and now torments all the people who come near. How scary! Marine or alien plant? Get ready and brace yourself, because this can make your hair stand on end. It's a living organism that was found by a tour guide on the beaches of Quien Giang, Vietnam. And we call it an organism because, in reality, nobody knows what it is. It could be a plant, an animal, and even an alien. But even the most knowledgeable scientists don't have an answer for this. As you can see in the video, the creature was on a green table while it was being inspected by the people who found it. It seemed to have branches, like those of a bush, but they also thought that these could be tentacles. This last option was the most questionable, since these extremities moved very strangely and were born spiraling from its center, branching outwards. The tour guide said it was probably a sea monster, so it was returned to the ocean. However, many believe this was a hoax and claim it was some genetic mutation product of contamination. Others, on the contrary, think it is some extraterrestrial colony that hides in the depths of the ocean. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. Prehistoric marine monster. These images were recorded by local fishermen in the Brunei River, Asia, where in the distance they spotted what appeared to be a large animal. The mysterious being was gray, with large fangs, rows of needle-sharp teeth, and small eyes. Although only its head came up to the surface, the tie that was left behind showed it had an elongated body. Fortunately, it didn't look like it wanted to attack them. It just stayed peacefully swimming, looking for some victim of its liking. The most surprising thing about this creature was that, although the video was recorded in 2014, its shape and appearance reminded the inhabitants of those prehistoric beings that were already assumed to be extinct or evolved. Another strange thing about this case is that it went viral and many internet users drew their own theories. But the scientific community never spoke about it and left the audience with many questions. Today, some believe it's a kind of prehistoric snake of Hindu mythology that seldom comes to the surface. Maybe that's what has been documented before or after. Scientists catch mermaid. Much has been said about how governments and the scientific community are silent about the thousands of strange discoveries around the world. But these accusations have never been proven. That's why the next video, recorded in Poland, is so shocking. Can this be a definitive proof that they're hiding something from us? As you can see in the images, a dozen men in biohazard suits were on the banks of a lake. 4 of them lifted a creature from the ground, which it seemed to have a fishtail. Together, they transported it to where the others were and laid it on a stretcher. It was then when its body could be clearly seen. Although it had a tail, it also had a humanoid form from the waist up. Then, several of the men returned to examine the area, while the others waited with the strange being. This one didn't move or try to escape, so it's presumed that it was dead or at least unconscious. The video ends with the team leaving and taking with them their new discovery. Many had questions after this video was leaked, but to this day, nobody has an answer. Loch Ness Monster in EEUU? A family walk along the beach can become an unexpected adventure. This is what happened to Jeff Warren and his son when, while walking quietly along the coast of Wolf Island Natural Park, Georgia, they saw in the distance the body of an unidentified marine animal. At first, they thought it was some kind of ocean mammal. But as soon as they approached, they couldn't help remembering the popular Loch Ness Monster. Sure, this was a much smaller Nessie than the original, since its body was of approximately 1.5 meters, gray and elongated with a pair of fins. A spokesperson for the Conservation Section program of the Department of Natural Resources of Georgia acknowledged they didn't know what it was. Of course, theories didn't take long to appear. In fact, many compared it with a plesiosaur, an animal extinct millions of years ago. However, as expected, local authorities didn't make any further statements on the matter, so this discovery remains a mystery. The Water Devil. If you think you've seen it all at this point, you are very wrong. A creature half fish, half human is amazing. But what do you think of being half demon, half Aquaman? Yeah, just as you heard it. Everything happened in 2016 when a group of men approached Scaravo Island in the Gulf of California. As you can see, the video showed the lifeless body of a being with horns, fearsome black eyes, and a fishtail. Its skin was reddish brown and its ears reminiscent of a bull. But instead of having a snout, it seemed to have a human mouth. From the torso came what resembles a row of spikes or frightening horns. It wasn't a small animal. Several sources claim it was at least 2 meters long. How about that? The being was lying on the rocky surface. However, due to its high level of decomposition, it was difficult to know at first glance what it would look like alive. The question, as always, is about its origin. Scientists ruled out conspiracy theories by attributing it to remains of a wolf. But it's difficult to convince people that a wolf has horns, a tail, and a human mouth. What do you think? Do you think something big is happening in our oceans? Which of these videos did you find most incredible? Tell us in the comments. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.